Hey everyone, it's Morgan and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a very long time since I posted anything on here. Today I'm going to be doing a process video for you. This is a digital scrapbook layout that I used my computer and Photoshop to complete, and I'm just going to sort of walk through all the steps and everything that I did to come up with this layout. It is also part of the month of challenges over on the lily pad, and this is challenge 1, so January 1st. I know I'm a little bit behind in these, but hopefully I will catch up in the next week or two. So here we go. So first of all, I have chosen this photo. It's from our trip last year when we went up north, and I haven't finished scrapbooking all of those photos, so I wanted to try and catch up a little bit. So that's the photo I chose. Then next I went through and I found a collection that I liked. So this collection is from Paislee Press and it is called Memory Keeper. So I just went through and I pulled out a few papers that I liked, and then a couple of journaling cards that I also liked. I didn't know which ones I was gonna go with, but I just pulled out a few to work with to see how the layout sort of went from there. So moved a few things around. As you can see, I'm making that one a little bit smaller, see if I liked that. Just having a play around with everything to see what color combos, what pattern combos sort of work together. And then once I have that sort of foundation of the background papers, then I'll move on to adding a few embellishments also from that same Memory Keeper collection. So yeah, I really like this background paper with all the little sort of dotted frames on it. I don't end up using that, and I'm kind of a little bummed at myself about that because I really liked it, but in the end it just sort of didn't go. You'll see the final layout, completed layout at the end, and you can kind of understand why it didn't work, but I was really hoping to get it in there. So hopefully another layout another layout I will be inspired to use that piece. So this is the journaling card I go with in the end. I didn't like the details one, and the line one just, I don't know, I really wanted to get that sort of that blue dotty piece in, but it was just too much, so I went with just the plain about, and then it says today, this photo, and us. So that's pretty much where I put my journaling a little bit later. So this is when I start looking at a few embellishments. So first up I get this frame, which I really liked, and this is when I realized I can't use that background paper because it's too matchy. It's too the same. So this frame is basically a duplicate of those little ones in the background, and I really liked the frame at this point, so I realized the background paper just wasn't going to cut it from here on out, and it was just too much white on white. And while sometimes that is really nice look with just a lot of white, it didn't work for this particular page. So I guess I could say while I'm moving things around, where I've been the last, I know it's probably been nearly 2 years since I posted a video on here. I think I haven't actually gone to check. So we've moved from Australia to New Zealand, and that's where we're living now. So that has taken up quite a bit of my time and energy, and I hadn't been scrapbooking. I also sold 99.999% of all of my scrapbooking stuff. I think I kept like a roll of washi tape, and actually, I kept a few like art journaling things, like some stencils and stuff, and that was pretty much all I kept. Everything else got sold, so I'm basically just a digital scrapbooker now, which I had been dabbling in the past like years as well, while I was still doing paper scrapbooking, but now it is just digital because I don't have the space for it. It's also a little bit cheaper. I'm sure I've mentioned that before in another video, because you can reuse all the elements over and over again, which is really, really handy. So yeah, that's pretty much the reasons why I haven't been posting, and I kind of just fell into a bit of a lull a couple of years ago. I didn't scrapbook for ages. There was probably nearly like 8-10 months when I didn't do anything. I had been doing a little bit more of art journaling, and even that I sort of just, I don't know, something happened and I couldn't get motivated. So now you can see on this layout I've kind of changed it around a bit. Going back to it, I've put the 2 background papers at the back, and then I went through and I picked out a few different embellishments to add onto the page. Now I don't end up using all of them, but I wanted to grab some out to see which ones would work. I didn't share the footage of me going through and picking out this and that, because on a Windows computer it's kind of frustrating. It doesn't show up the PNG images as a little thumbnail image, so I have to have the photo thing opened to show all the images, and then I have to have the folder open to pick which ones, and it's kind of frustrating, kind of annoying, and I really wanted my MacBook back. I so want my MacBook back. I wished I'd never sold it, but you live and learn, right? I guess because I'd stopped doing most scrapbooking and I was kind of just using the iPad for most things, which I still do quite a bit on the iPad, but then I decided I wanted Photoshop back, and it annoyed at myself, but never mind. Persevered and we got through it. So that's why I haven't shown you the selecting things, because it did take quite a while. So this is the sort of the combo that I end up with. The label with the pinky red on it, that little circle one, I can't remember what that says on it. Oh, there we go, happy memory, and then the little flower embellishment, and that's all I have on this layout. The challenge for this one was to use no more than 10 things. So that was your papers, your photo, your embellishments, everything, your title, if you used word art, etc. So I've got the 2 pattern papers, then 3 is my journaling, 4 is my photo, 5 is the frame, 6, 7, and 8 are the embellishments, and then I think I add in another paper to the background, which is what I'm doing here. Yeah, and that's 9 plus my journaling, so 10, I guess. I can't remember if journaling was included in the 10 or not, but that's my 10 things. That's why it's quite a simple layout, quite simplistic. I wouldn't say it's a minimal layout, because there's quite a lot going on in the background with the papers, but it's simplistic in what it is. So sorry, I can't remember what I was talking about before. I apologize, my train of thought is terrible. I was saying how I miss my MacBook. That's right. Anyway, yeah, so I'm doing it on a Windows PC or laptop with Photoshop, as you can tell, and yeah, it's just taking a little bit of time for me to get used to doing it and everything, but I'm certainly glad that I have some motivation to scrapbook again now. I just have like 2 years worth of photos to catch up on. Don't worry, I have still been making notes. I still use the Collect app, if anyone still uses that. I doubt it, but it's kind of an old app, but I still use that to make notes. I actually still use the Project Life app occasionally if I've got a whole bunch of photos that I want to dump into something and put a little bit of journaling with it. I'll do that, not as finished layouts, but just so it's there and I know I can come back to it. And I also have my notebook and diary that I can refer to for different photos as well. So I just have to go back and collate everything together and see where we go from there. So now I'm adding in my journaling, which I've, by the magic of technology, is all in there for you. And at this point I was trying to remember how to add a shadow to the layers. Like, it has actually been quite a few months since I did a layout, and I was like, how do you add, and I couldn't even think of the word for it, shadow, and I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know which one of these I need to pick. But again, I worked it out. So yeah, now I'm just going to go and add shadows to each of my layers to sort of make them stand out and pop a little bit. And once you've worked out the first one, how you want that to look, you just keep going through and go drop shadow, okay, to each item on your layout that you want to have shadow, and they all come out with the same type of shadow. Actually, going back to when I did Scrapbook, when we moved to New Zealand, we had to go through the 2 weeks of managed isolation in a hotel, which was lots of fun. I actually completed an entire album for my sister. It was her birthday, so I went and found all these childhood photos and photos from her Facebook page and Instagram and everything, and I made layouts for all of them. I think there was like 40 layouts in there, and I did that for a birthday present for her. It took me the whole 2 weeks of isolation to do that, and that was the last digital scrapbooking I've done. So as you can see, going through and just adding drop shadow to each one, and then moving the pieces around. The shadow's probably a little bit too dark, but never mind. Actually, I remembered I needed to add a date to it after I'd saved it. So I just add that in and put it in that little tag box and move it around so it lines up on the angle, not straight, and that is when I called it a day. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you like this video and don't want to miss out on more, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.